I think my story is pretty similar to a lot of people. On November 4th, I was really just surprised at what I woke up to that morning. And I started doing my own research, my own digging on a lot of different topics. And eventually I kind of crossed paths with Dr. Frank's work. And I remember a point in seeing some of his work where he said, if you get a hold of this same publicly available data, you can also reproduce some of these results. And I really liked that challenge. I'm that kind of person who likes to look at the data for himself, even though Dr. Frank is obviously a very, respectable, trusted individual. So I got my hands on some voter registration information for the first time in my life. I'd never looked at it before. I'm not an election integrity expert by any means. And I started with that. I just started looking at the election data myself with this Excel tool that I built that we're going to talk about a little more later. And eventually it led to a lot of other things. And I'm not sure if we want to get into that now, or maybe give Jeff a chance to talk about his own background.
Yeah.
But that's how I got into this.
Perfect. Jeff, why don't you go ahead and give us your quick, how'd you get involved? And then I think we'll answer a lot of the questions that are already being kind of raised in my mind by virtue of your journey, Matt.
Yeah, so I started the same way I think most Americans in this movement started. And for me, it actually started the night of the election when the counting stopped in multiple states. That was the first thing that didn't make any sense to me. And then all these stories about pipes bursting and boxes of ballots showing up, and all of that just caught me by surprise. And I remember going to bed going, well, I don't think we'll figure this out tonight. And then waking up, just like Matt, waking up in the morning and seeing the results. And I said, this can't be right. And it was not too long after that I got involved with Voter Integrity Project that was the precursor to Look Ahead America, Matt Brainerd's group. But a bunch of patriots just got together on there and did a bunch of work in terms of getting information on the Georgia voter rolls, checking them. And then I caught up with USEIP. I followed Ashton America on Parler, and she added me to base camp. And then starting in about February, I kind of started the analytics part of USEIP.
Awesome. I've heard great things about USEIP, and I think I met several of those folks at the Cyber Symposium in South Dakota. And there's I think a manual that's been written that's been very, very helpful. And in fact, Ash and some of the other folks, I'd love to talk to you, because there's a lot of questions now about how to do a canvas. And I know that some folks in Colorado have already started, and they've actually done it in a very, very savvy, below the radar way to get great information. So that's going to be the next thing that I try to tackle is how do we do an effective canvas.